Welcome to the back porch again for another video blog. This one is called, Why is this happening to me? We've all watched tragic events descending suddenly on others. We've also walked through our own seasons of grief and suffering. No one's exempt. Along with that, we witness loved ones succumbing to cancer and other illnesses. I just had two friends die recently, both of cancer. Then the nightly news hits us with its own senseless killings, many of which have been related to school shootings. The amount of pain accumulated by all of these can be overwhelming. So can also the questions. And they come. Why is this happening? What's the point? And where is God in all of this pain? Suffering does that for the human race. It provokes the deeper questions, often with few answers. My own story is really no different. The bottom dropped out of my life in my mid-30s when a church plant that I had high hopes for, well, we had to shut it down. I was left in financial difficulty, emotional turmoil, and a lot of spiritual darkness. And with all of that pain, the question started. Why is this happening to me? What's the point? And where is God in all of this? I cannot give quick or easy answers to the problem of suffering, but I'm struck by something that Jesus said in the Gospels. After healing a paralyzed man on the Sabbath, he was harshly rebuked by the Pharisees. They believed that no one could heal on the Sabbath. No work should be done, not even healing. Jesus' response to them is remarkable. This is what he said. My Father is always at work to this very day, and I too am working. That's from John chapter 5. There it is. The Father is always at work, not only sustaining what he has created, but redeeming it, healing it, and then allowing it to flourish. That's what the Father's always doing. The Son just watches what the Father does and follows his lead. This is the surprise of the kingdom. The Father is working. The Son watches and follows his lead. The Spirit is also doing his job. The redemptive work of the kingdom is always going on around us and hopefully in us as well. This doesn't directly answer the question of suffering, but it may offer something even better. Here it is. God's always up to something, even in the midst of pain and suffering. Looking back on that really terrible time from my mid-30s, I can honestly say that anything good that has ever happened in my life has come out of that terrible crucible. Now, I couldn't see it or feel it then. If anyone had ever tried to convince me of that at that point, I would have said, no way. In fact, I was furious with God at the time. But he was at work. And now I am really so glad. If God is always working, then perhaps our questions can change as well. Instead of just asking, why is this happening to me? Maybe we can start asking this. What's God up to? How is he working? What is he doing here? Now, often we won't know the answer then, but just the very fact that we ask the question can dispel the darkness. I am slowly learning to be confident that God is always at work, everywhere, in everyone, every day. There's no pain, no suffering, no difficulty, no tragedy that is exempt. To see his work in my life, even to the suffering, has been liberation. To see his work now in my ministry is just wonder and joy. So, I want to leave you with this. What's God up to in your life? What's he up to in the lives of those around you? Start asking that question, and then watch what happens.